International exchange of germplasm, trade and movement of plants and plant products is crucial in the quest for adequate food production and supply. It is therefore important to ensure that foreign injurious pests, diseases and noxious weeds which do not exist in Kenya are not introduced in the country. Kenya has very stringent plant introduction and certification procedures to ensure that pests, diseases and weeds which are non-existent in Kenya are not introduced or spread when importing plant materials into the country through the activities of Kenya Plant Health Inspectorate Services.
As you know, most of the northern corridor countries, they are net importers as far as foodstuffs are concerned. And all these foodstuffs pass through this port. So it's a role of us as KEFIS to ensure that that material as it comes in, it doesn't have any injurious pests that could affect our agriculture.
All phytosanitary measures are based on international standards as in International Plant Protection Convention (IPPC) and World Trade Organization or WTO Agreement on Sanitary and Phytosanitary Regulations and Guidelines, Plant Protection Act Cap 324, the Suppression of Noxious Weeds Cap 325, and the Agricultural Produce and Export Act Cap 319 provide the legal framework through which KEFIS carries out phytosanitary regulation services.
She's intending to export to Korea.
The operations of the Plant Protection Service Department are undertaken at the following places: the plant health clinics found at the KEFIS headquarters, plant quarantine station at Mugoga, grading and inspection at the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport, Moi International Airport, Mombasa Seaport, Eldoret Airport, and all the border points. Plant Pathology Clinic diagnoses disease and nematode problems in plant and soil specimens, carries out identification of the pathogen, and then advises farmers on disease management, that is prevention and control options.
Kwa wilaya ni mdudu anaitwa bollworm ama helicobacter. Na huo mdudu unakuta.
The station fulfills a very important phase of plant protection program during the transfer of plant genetic materials by preventing the introduction of plant pests, diseases and noxious weeds. Latent infections of seeds and other plant preparative organs with viruses, fungi, bacteria or nematode may occur even after treatment. The plant quarantine, imported high-risk plant materials are grown under observation for a certain period of time before they are released to the importer. This reduces the chances of introduction of harmful pathogens.
The plant quarantine and biosecurity station is one of the stations within KEFIS, but it's under the Phytosanitary Services division of KEFIS. The station has got different activities and it contributes a lot into the phytosanitary services of KEFIS. So through quarantine facilities, both closed and open quarantine facilities, KEFIS can be able to monitor these particular materials in the greenhouses and also in the open quarantine facilities, just to make sure that they are devoid of quarantine pests and diseases. Because we are a signatory to IPPC, it's our obligation as KEFIS to certify the materials according to international phytosanitary standards so that they can be accepted in those countries where we are exporting. There are some diseases and pests in Kenya which to us are not of quarantine importance, but to the country where these materials are being exported to, they are of quarantine importance there. So it is the obligation of KEFIS to make sure that we don't export this produce that may be carrying diseases and pests of quarantine importance to those countries. Another very important activity that we carry out here in our station is plant disease diagnostics. Now, you cannot be able to tell whether a plant has got a disease or not. So we have got plant health laboratories here at the station. We have got 5 of them. That is entomology for insect pests diagnosis. We have got a bacteriology laboratory for bacterial diseases. We have got the virology laboratory for viruses. We have got bacteriology for bacterial diseases. And also we have the nematology lab for nematodes. Now, these particular labs also complement into certifying materials both for exports and also for imports.
Viruses infected breeder, seed, or high-value plant materials are cleaned.
We as a station, one of our very important roles is the quarantine of plant material that we consider to be of high risk to the country. That material is first brought into greenhouses similar to this. It is grown out and it's tested for pathogens that are of quarantine importance. And only when it is found free is it released to the client.
So you check from the vitals and mines.
Inspectors from the quarantine station visit farms during the crop growing period to certify that phytosanitary conditions specified by the importer are adhered to. This section offers regulatory service to imported and exported plant materials at entry and exit points. The plant inspectors ensure that the plant produce being exported or imported into the country is of high quality.
This is Kefis, Longa Longa. Amongst many other activities we perform here is majorly inspection of imports and export produce. A lot of imports that we get from Tanzania, majorly fresh produce, oranges. Sometimes when the season for tomatoes is on, we also have some tomatoes, but this one is usually short-lived. We also have a lot of tea. Tea not only comes from Tanzania, but we also have tea coming as far as Burundi, Malawi, and even Mozambique. Recently we started having tea from Mozambique, which used not to pass here. Apart from that, we also have maize. Maize is also coming from Tanzania majorly, and a lot of timber. While doing the inspection, we issue the necessary documents that are needed across the borders by different countries. These include the importation permit, that is plant import permit. We issue plant import permit to those intending to import different produce.
Plant materials failing to meet the standards are destroyed or prohibited from leaving or entering the country. Kefis undertakes inspection of plants and plant products at the points of entry and exit. Inspection of all materials for export is done to ensure compliance with the recommended quality standards. It may be visual, microscopic, or a combination of both on plants or plant products at airports, seaports, mail, and border posts. Usually, samples are inspected according to the type and volume of the commodity.
We do inspect this produce in the godowns before they are stacked in the containers ready for shipping.
For the last 50 years, we've been enjoying the services of Kefis, which has been a bigger impact in our exportation business in this tea industry, whereby Kefis has played an important role in ensuring the pallets we use conform with the environment conditions, especially which does not affect the quality of the tea inside a shipment.
Every year, about 10 to 20% of the volume of cargo that passes through this port is agricultural based. So it's our work as a national plant protection organization to ensure that whatever is passing through this port meets the required standards as it translates through the corridor to other countries. So we ensure that these standards are met through stringent inspection procedure to make sure that no foreign pests are introduced by this agricultural importation that comes in. There's a vessel that is discharging wheat all the way from Russia. We are sure that this wheat, most likely it will go to all the northern corridor countries, because all the northern corridor countries are wheat importers. So our basic job, first of all, is to make sure that this wheat, by the time it lands here, it meets all the required conditions before it moves to other countries. For the last years that KFIS has been, we have not come across any major pest introduction that have passed through this port. And this can only be attributed because of our effort and our stringent working to make sure that whatever comes in is not, does not have any dangerous pests.
Capital Reef Kenya Limited are basically commodity traders, and we export large quantity of pulses, which are green mung beans, beans in all, and pigeon peas, sesame seeds as well. And at a point, of course, we used to export raw cashew nuts, but which are absolutely banned to export at the moment. We are in conjunction with KFIS, who play a big role in our export business, because number one, they help us inspect the quality of the cargo and to give us a go-ahead that yes, this quality is good for export, and which also makes us very confident that whatever we're exporting is, of course, acceptable on the other side, which mainly we export to India, Pakistan, China, and mostly Turkey as well, South Africa. All these are regions that we export all this cargo to. With KFIS, we used to have handwritten certificates, which have now changed to online system. They call it ECS. And well, I must say that that system has really reduced a lot of paperwork for us, has made things faster, and at the same time, certificates are not delayed anymore. You don't have to wait for 2 days to get a certificate. This is online. When you log in, make this a certificate, and in 2 hours, your certificate is ready for collection.
KFIS set up an office at the airport in 1998. We do export certification for all the exportable plants and plant products that are exported to international markets. Being a regulatory agency, we ensure that all the plant material that pass through Eldoret International Airport comply. We do inspect the plant material, and we issue phytosanitary certificates for exports. We also have imports that come through Eldoret International Airport. We issue plant import permits for all the imports that come through the airport.
KFIS collaborates with various institutions in promotion of sustainable agricultural and economic growth.
One of the major national collaborators is the Pyrethrum Board of Kenya. We collaborate with the International Potato Center, who are based here in our facility. They have got both screen houses here, and they use our tissue culture facility.
All in all, KFIS has also been a very friendly team, and they do support us a lot to make our business grow better and better.
AIC.
Watch more agricultural documentaries at www.youtube.com/AIRC video unit.